Hey everyone, welcome to this video today. This one's a bit unique because it will only focus on a couple of options available for people who choose to go with a Medicare Advantage plan. These options are built to alleviate a couple major risks to hitting your out-of-pocket maximum while on an Advantage plan. Now let's be open with each other. Our agency offers help for people around the senior insurance space. Plans that shift larger amounts of risk from you to an insurance company, usually in exchange for some smaller monthly premiums. And in a lot of situations, insurance products can be pushed when they don't necessarily need to be pushed. And that's not what this video is here to do. What I am here to do is to explain a set of plans that are designed for a specific purpose. One of those purposes has to do with helping reduce risk for people on a Medicare Advantage plan. This video is not going into the details of the pros and cons of Advantage plans. We have a lot of videos on our channel that do just that. This is not that video. So as you are probably aware, Advantage plans carry an out-of-pocket maximum, and it can be intimidating for some people. These out-of-pocket maximums can vary dramatically. The average here in our area is $5,500. I know of plans with $500 out-of-pocket maximums. I know of plans with $8,300 out-of-pocket maximums. So it's all over the place and highly variable depending on where you live. Now, nationally, of all of the people on an Advantage plan, only 3 to 5% ever make it to their out-of-pocket maximum in any given year, so it can be rare, but it can happen. And the two most common ways that it can happen are, first, multiple multi-day inpatient hospital stays, because those can have high copay amounts. And the second is if something like cancer strikes, because cancer treatment is not cheap, and you will have a 20% coinsurance, which is common, up to that out-of-pocket maximum. There are obviously other ways to reach the maximum out-of-pocket, but those two are the most common concerns that we hear from the clients that we help serve and who have gone through these things with Advantage plans. So this video is to explain the plans built for people on an Advantage plan to help offset the potential high costs of the inpatient hospital stays and cancer treatments. These plans are not part of the Advantage plan itself and are completely separate. They are called hospital indemnity plans and cancer insurance plans. Like all insurance products, rates will vary based on a lot of factors, and you can customize these plans to what you need, but a common arrangement around here in our area is right around $50 per month total for both combined, for the levels that I'll talk about in this video. In exchange for those premiums that do not increase with age, which is nice, these plans will help fill in some of those high cost gaps. So let's talk about each plan individually, and you can skip chapters along the bottom if you'd like. Starting with hospital indemnity plans, as the name suggests, these plans will help you with those inpatient hospital stays. On an Advantage plan, you will typically have a daily copay for inpatient hospital stays. That amount varies by plan, but for this exercise, let's say it's $350 per day, 4 days 1 through 5. This structure is pretty typical, where you will have a dollar amount for the first few days, and then after day 5 in this example, the Advantage plan takes care of the rest. They can be for days 1 through 3, 1 through 4, 1 through 5. I've seen 1 through 6. All Advantage plans are different, and that's going to vary based on the insurance company that you have and where you live. Well, if you are in the hospital for 5 days, that's $1,750 that you would be responsible for in the form of your daily copays in this example. With a hospital indemnity plan, you can say, look, I would like to have a small monthly premium that will give me a benefit where if I do need to go into the hospital, this plan will pay me the $350 per day for 5 days. That way, if this event happens, the hospital indemnity plan will help reduce my risk of needing to come up with a high dollar amount. I should say it will sort of reimburse you for this amount. In this example, you would have $1,750 in copays from your Advantage plan that will count towards your plan's out-of-pocket maximum, and then the hospital indemnity plan would send you a check for $1,750 as part of your plan benefit. These plans have a benefit period or a window where these benefits are in effect and they can reset. So what is common is that if you are released from the hospital and are not admitted again for more than 60 days, your benefit resets again. So that if you were to go back into the hospital again after that benefit period or that window, you get those dollars again from the insurance plan. So that's pretty nifty. To get one of these plans, you fill out an application and then you set the amounts that you want your benefits to be. In our example, it was $350 a day for days 1 through 5. You might have a plan that's $400 a day for days 1 through 4, and you can set your benefits accordingly. We typically recommend setting whatever your Advantage plan hospital daily copays may be as that benefit. Now, the higher the amounts for that benefit that you set, the higher your premiums will be. You will continue to hear that this varies a lot, but some insurance companies have a guaranteed issue for these kinds of plans. So you don't have to go through medical underwriting, or you don't have to have the fear of getting denied for these hospital indemnity plans. Those guaranteed issue windows are usually relatively narrow, and they're based on your age, and not all insurance companies have them. If you're outside of that window or using a company that does not have the guaranteed issue window, you have health questions that you have to answer. These are relatively straightforward questions that ask that if in the last 12 months, you've had certain more severe health issues that are outlined specifically in the application. So those are hospital indemnity plans. Again, they're to protect you if you do go into the hospital. Now let's move on to the cancer plans. Now I'm using cancer here because it is a common concern for many of our clients, but there are other types of plans like this that you can get that are very similar, but they're for things like a heart attack or a stroke or other specific situations. Similar to the hospital indemnity plan, you choose the dollar amount of coverage that you would like to have if, heaven forbid, you get a cancer diagnosis. If you are diagnosed with cancer, and this is the first time that you're being diagnosed with that cancer, within that year, the plan will pay you the dollar amount that you choose for your policy. The higher the dollar amount, the higher the premium. Our clients frequently choose a dollar amount that aligns with their Advantage plan out-of-pocket maximum. For example, if your Advantage plan has an out-of-pocket maximum of $5,500, you could set your cancer policy amount to be $5,500. And if you are diagnosed with cancer and you're going to go through those treatments, you can use the dollars from the cancer insurance policy to pay for the expenses required by your Advantage plan. These cancer plans have a few different arrangements. With one, and it is the more common one, upon your first cancer diagnosis and treatment, you receive that lump sum dollar amount. After that initial benefit, you stop paying premiums and you no longer have this plan. The second option, which isn't as common, but it does happen, is one where if you use the benefit, you get that lump sum payment because you've been diagnosed with a cancer. You can continue paying monthly premiums, and that benefit can grow again in case you ever have a second diagnosis of cancer later. For example, after 1 year of no new cancer diagnosis, you get 15% of that overall benefit back. These numbers are made up. And then the second year, you have 30% of your benefit back. Year 3, a little bit more. Year 4, a little bit more. And then after year 5, you have 100% of that benefit again, so that should you get a new cancer diagnosis, you could get that full lump sum payment again for that second time. These plans have health questions, and they're mostly relating to previous cancer diagnoses and PSA readings. So the last thing to know about these plans is that there's usually some sort of a waiting period. Think of it as a deductible, not of money, but of time. So if you get one of these plans, once you are approved for the policy, there's usually a period of time, and let's say 30 days, where if you do have a claim that is specific to these policies that were to happen within that 30 days, you would not be covered. But if it were to happen after that 30 days, that plan is now in full effect and you're good to go. And it would cover those things if you were to submit one of those claims. All right, I think that about covers it for these two plans. Again, these are built for specific purposes. Those on a supplement plan don't usually consider these because of the way the supplement plans work, just those on Advantage plans. If you have any specific questions around these plans, please don't hesitate to reach out. We always recommend using an agent for this stuff who can help walk you through the Medicare maze. It never costs you anything to use an agent, so please use one. If you have that person in your life, please use them. If you don't, we're here to help. I appreciate you as always, and thank you for watching.